The three of us, three meaning Janet, me, and my roommate, Dee Dee Holdren, we went out to visit Frances Yancey Smith in Charlotte Courthouse. And we went in the spring of 1966.
Yeah, it was right before school got out. Yeah, I said, well, why would we go? And what did you say, Becky?
We are close enough to Frances Yancey Smith. We ought to be going to see this woman. And she was a delightful personality, very kind and very sweet.
She was on the quiet. She wasn't like bubbly, like I think Ruby Leoga was. I've never met her, but bubbly, but she was very straightforward.
She really talked a bit about what Zeta was all about. And her vision was that she wanted to see Zeta as an opportunity for people to become really good citizens who give back to their community. And her life was filled with giving back to the community. And that, I can't help but believe that that is still what Zeta is doing. I would think she would be really happy if that she understood what that legacy has been.
For the rest of us who were there at the time, we got to meet her at our room dedication.
Right.
She was quiet, very polite, very gracious lady, as at the same time we had got to meet not only Frances Yancey Smith there, but Ruby Lee Orgain, and also one of our very early first new members in Grace Elkin Garnett. When I became vice chairman, one of the things that I was instructed to do was to, of course, get the information on the membership information cards, of course, for the new pledges, and I needed an alumni signature. And it's as easy as run up the street, and this is High Street, that's the street that the rotunda is located on, and Miss Gracie will sign those for you. So yes, I took those up to Miss Gracie. Gracious lady, chatted, she signed those. How are things down there? You know, we talked a little bit. Never realizing fully at that point the role this woman played in the action that led to our incorporation through a special act of the state legislature. She was very instrumental in that. There's so many things at that time that we did that were part of everyday life without realizing the full history behind them.
And the very first time we went to Founders Day, and we drove to Richmond. Now we all could not go because the room where Miss Ruby lived was the Windsor, and it wasn't that large. People who wanted to go usually could go, but just having Founders Day ceremony with her was so special, and that's when I really realized, you know, this is something really big. When I first started going to visit her, Miss Ruby, her room, she had like a big, like a Teaster's style bed, and she had a lot of Zeta stuff all on her, around in her room, and she had the book that she wrote, and she would always show me her Zeta ring, and she would tell me this was like her 6th or 7th ring because she kept wearing them out because she lived a long time. So, but her room was a lot of Zeta, and she was just so welcomed you with open arms. And as soon as you walked in the door, and she said, "Are you a Zeta?" I'm like, "Yes." And then she was like, "Come on in," you know. And then she found out I went to Longwood. She would ask me like a billion questions about Longwood. She would always ask me how we were doing. Did we still have a lot of people in Zeta? She always wanted to make sure we were still a strong chapter. And I said, "Oh, we're doing great. We have a lot of, we always make quota." And I remember one time she asked me what quota was. So I had to explain that. And then she goes, "Oh yeah, I remember what that is now." And Zeta was very important to her, and it made her really proud. She would say that how much Zeta grew. And how, it was like, I remember one time she was like, "We even have Zeta in California." And so it was important to her, definitely.
This is me over here in the corner in this 1970s outfit here. There's a quote that says, and I actually wrote it down so I can say it because it was a Maya Angelou quote. "At the end of the day, people won't remember what you said or did. They will remember how you made them feel." And that's what I think, because I don't have a clue what we talked about. I don't remember at all. I remember going, but I remember her making us feel special. And really, she was the special one. You know, when you meet a living founder, and that's the whole group with her, it was just so sweet. But that's where you realized Zeta was so much more, you know, the magnitude of what she and those 8 founders did. She wasn't, I'm special, I'm a founder. It was, you're special because you are Zetas.